case also, and it is made of advanced materials. I believe it is a flexible material also because it is transformable, and it has electric wheels for land travel, ballast tank, rudder, propeller and all, and air blowers are also there. Control systems are also described in Vimana Shastra. Next one. Shakuna Vimana. So this Vimana is like similar to Pushpaka Vimana, which we see in Ellora caves, flapping wing mechanisms. So this is also made of Raja Loha. This is different one, Raja Loha. Previously Tripura Vimana, Trinetra Loha. So here Shakuna Vimana, there is a description of hollow mast and wings are there, tail also. So various mechanical components are there for the help of flapping wings and all, flight control too. Propulsion is also. So propulsion is also, there are many similarities in the ancient Egyptian and Indian space vehicles. Historians say that there is a link between ancient scripts, Egyptian and Indian also, civilizations related. So here we can see the Abydos airship. Abydos airship is something like completely different flying city kind of thing, because it has like many things, like they have written birds come in and go, and fishes are also there inside. Inside there is a like something like pool inside it and all. So many things we can do on this project. We are still doing 3D modeling of this Abydos airship. Next one. Now coming to Shakuna Vimana, recently I have found some yantra which describing Pushpini yantra. Basically first initially I thought it is something like air conditioner kind of thing, but now it seems to be something more than it, like making the astronauts feel better in space atmosphere. And also it says that animals and plants can also be taken inside this, and also the third floor it can be separated, and when it is not there in the Vimana, the floor can be folded, upper layer of the third floor folded onto the second floor. So after the release of the capsule to another space mission. Next. So coming to Abydos airship, there is description of many things, like similar things are there, making the passengers comfortable, and also the many habitation related descriptions are there, and recycling system, air, water, everything, waste is also there. Next slide. Next slide. So here we can see Abydos airship. Fish is also there, like I said. Basically, as per our understanding, they provide like sustainable food source in the Abydos airship in the ancient Egyptian civilization. So there, hello. Okay. So there, like waste could fertilize plants also, and the system helps filter and recycle water. So all these things we can consider, and garden with fruits is also mentioned in Abydos airship. So it is very sophisticated idea. Like agriculture is also there inside it. So it provides fresh food essential for long-term habitation. Like I said, example in Shakuna Vimana, we have to still explore that yantra. So here we can see in Abydos airship directly they mentioned such similar things. So plants naturally produce oxygen, remove carbon It's for the inhabitants. And there is also, like I said, there is small ventilation units for birds to come in and go outside. So birds could assist in pollination plants in the garden. So they have thought of everything linked to one and other material. Next. Now I said Pushpini Yantra, this one still I am doing research. So basically describe providing comfort during the travel, especially spring, summer seasons, and suggest how environmental conditions can change during the flight. And cold processing mirror is there, like possibly managing the heat in the space. And cold generating crystal is there, monies, so described as producing cooling effect. Electrical wheel with 100 spokes, it could be like for circulating the air inside the aircraft. And acid vessel, it is a little unclear to understand as of now. After translating again we can try to understand. So functioning, the device, it is used as a combination of electrical system, specialized materials, chemical reactions also to regulate temperature and circulate the air. So comparing to the modern equipment, we can understand that it is like something like environmental control system, spacecraft thermal control systems also. So applications, studying this, we can do new approach to the environmental control in spacecraft. Long duration missions we can do. Material science insights also, description of special materials are there. Cold generating crystals, modern science we are not at all aware of crystals, but ancient science there are many descriptions of many types of crystals which have multiple functions which modern science doesn't know. So that it could prompt research into new materials and thermal management also. And historical technological understanding, the sophistication of like Pushpini Yantra challenges our perceptions of ancient technological capabilities, encouraging a re-evaluation of historical scientific knowledge. Next one. So now comparing environmental control systems, both ancient and modern are suggesting like environmental things inside the space capsule, making the astronauts and all sustainable in other outer space atmosphere. We can take inspiration on all these descriptions. Next. Next one. So future research directions, we can understand that these alloys which I have mentioned, Rajaloha alloy, cold generating crystal, all these we can do research and develop the modern space technology. Pushpini Yantra also, it inspires us to understand new types of research. Next one. So now coming to the next topic. So advanced space devices are there in Vimana Shastra. Cloning device is there, that is the Vimana appearing like there are multiple Vimanas in the space. And plasma shield, Parivesha Kriya Yantra, that name, device name. And then free energy extraction. Next. So Shakti Akarshana Yantra is power attracting device mentioned in Vimana Shastra. So like I said, there are many free energy in the space, regions in the space mentioned in Vimana Shastra from which we can extract energy. But now we are using only fuel and all. But in Vimana Shastra they have used free available energies in the space. And Vishwakriya Darshana Darpana Yantra, this is a universal vision revealing mirror when we translate, but it acts as double role. It is like a space telescope which can show the astronaut in the Vimana the 3D images of whatever the telescope focuses on. And also it can, for example, we are seeing the Vimana, we can see the Vimana and there is another duplicate Vimana beside it, like it is cloning device. And next, Ganapa Yantra, solar energy extraction device. Parivesha Kriya Yantra, plasma shield generator. So based on the descriptions of Brihad Vimana Shastra, I have tried to do 3D modeling of this particular yantra. This is only a small part of this yantra, Shakti Akarshan yantra. Nikola Tesla already tried to recreate some devices from ancient texts, but we do not have now everything. So this is more similar to it. Power attracting, solar radiant energy is the Earth's gravitational pull described. Wind kinetic energy is also described. So there are multiple descriptions, like from multiple free energies it is attracting the energy. So the concept, previous slide. So these all concepts we have to understand. For example, wind kinetic energy, we have magneto-hydrodynamic generator, Earth's gravitational pull, we have Nikola Tesla tried earth powered generator once upon a time, gravity powered generator, but free energies, his laboratory was destroyed and he was killed, they say. Solar radiant energy, we know only some part of the solar rays in ancient texts. In Brihad Vimana Shastra, they have mentioned many types of the solar rays. We did not understand that much. Next. So Shakti Akarshan Yantra, technical details which I have understood, it utilizes mirrors or glass devices, neutralizes excess wind force on aircraft, protects against toxic outer earth winds, and earth power generator also we can understand it, and magneto-hydrodynamic generator, like I said. Energy transfer happens between aircraft and ground-based equipment. Yeah, next. Now coming to that space telescope which I have said, which also acts as cloning device for the Vimana. So this Vimana described in two areas in the Brihad Vimana Shastra, entire Vimana Shastra, in multiple chapters they have mentioned. So in Yantras chapter and also pilot instructions chapter. So it projects 3D visuals of distant celestial bodies, uses Mercury also. These are interesting points to be noted from the device. So it uses Mercury as reflective surface, capable of creating clones or illusions of the Vimana itself. So these are main points which I have understood. So previous slide. So this was the 3D model I have tried. This is also only some part which I have understood. That only I have created 3D model. Next. Mounted, like they also written that this is very strange description that I have come across in Brihad Vimana Shastra. So they have written that they placed this yantra, fixed it on the Vimana facing towards the planet Earth. So we have to understand, is the Vimana or the space station or the space city still existing, and are they still watching us through this telescope? So it provides real-time 3D holographic images of the Earth or other desired locations as per the astronaut or pilot. So allows observation of individual beings also, they have written, with accuracy it seems. So it can create illusory 3D images of the Vimana for strategic purposes. Next. Now Ganapa Yantra, as per my understanding, Ganapa Yantra, it is solar collector shaped like elephant's trunk. System of wheels and wires for energy transfer they have mentioned, and storage mechanism involving silica, crystals and acid. It utilizes sun crystals, umbrellas to enhance solar energy collection. So modern technology, if we can compare, so it is similar to modern photovoltaic panels or solar concentrators. And energy transfer system, electrical wiring, mechanical power transmission in current systems. Storage mechanism resembles modern battery technologies, particularly those using chemical reactions for energy storage. And enhanced collection methods also, maximizing solar energy capture such as tracking system and concentrator designs. Parivesha Kriya Yantra. So this yantra is very special for me because at the beginning I couldn't understand what they are trying to say in the text Brihadvimana Shastra. So translation very difficult, and for understanding we should be expert in that subject. So I felt very difficult to understand. Later I understood, okay, they are describing plasma shield. Parivesha Kriya Yantra. So it generates protective halo using all the 5 elemental forces. So it utilizes solar rays for propulsion also and guidance. Incorporates energy storage transmission mechanisms, and also defensive environmental control features are also there. There are specific materials used and specialized glasses in detailed description in this yantra. Metals and acids also they used. So modern technology we have plasma shield a little, but not this much advanced. If we focus on it, we can develop it more. Next. So sophisticated grasp of energy manipulation and conversion, advanced understanding optics and possibly holographic principles. So based as the modern technology keeps on developing, then we can understand these ancient texts. Next. We can apply these things in various fields if we research and recreate it.
Okay, thank you so much, Kavya ji. So based on these understandings, what we did was we went ahead and created our nanosatellite prototype. The inspiration primarily came from Vishwakriya Darshana Darpana Yantra. So what happens is we are working on an advanced constellation of Earth observation nanosatellites at present, which is the size of a water bottle, a 1 liter water bottle. And what we are trying to do is to capture and stream near real-time, geospatial video data from low Earth orbit. So we have a patent pending for the live streaming capabilities of the nanosatellite. So it's going to be around 1,200 nanosatellites forming a constellation through which you can actually see any particular location on Earth. I'll show you some video samples which we have done. So these are our sample work which we have been working on. We are based out of Bangalore, and so this is actually body-mounted solar panels with our antenna system. So we initially went ahead and started working on the S-band antennas, but then we realized that we can do it with UHF itself. So we are working on it, and this will have an optical payload which actually has its own customized data handling board which can stream whatever it's seen. It captures it and then it streams simultaneously. So that's how we have built it. These are all some of the samples that we have been working on since last 2 years. So this is primarily taken from. So this is our co-founder, Mr. Loganathan, who is an ex-ISRO scientist. So he had been a deputy project director for multiple missions, and post-retirement he worked on SRMSat, and also he worked with Niti Meenakshi. And so those are works which have been done in a lab. So we have been part of multiple forums, India and internationally. So this was in Bangalore Space Expo in 2022, and we were part of G20. So we came up with policy interventions for democratizing geospatial data, which all these G20 nations are having in silos. So that's what it happened, and this was part of our collaborative effort to come up with food and medicine for microgravity environments. So we are working on a bio payload also on an experimental basis, still in research. So that's me giving a presentation at IIT Guwahati. So this is last week, end of June in India Space Congress, where I was paneling on advanced Earth observation payloads, wherein satellite-based video is non-existent as of now. Few countries are doing it, that too for military purposes. So we are trying to do it. Can you play the videos, please? So here I'll show you some of the video samples. We have named it Eye in the Sky. So that's the inspiration came from the ancient texts. So I started working with Kavya Vadadi madam after I read her books, and that was more of an inspiration for me. So, sir, can you play it? Okay, so as per the descriptions, right? So you can see these are a satellite-based video, which is on an experimental basis. You can see the trains. Are you guys able to see it? Yeah. And what we did was, actually we took some of these samples, built an AI model on top of it so that objects can be detected accurately. Drones have their own limitations. So the future is going to be satellite-based video feed. Already military is doing it. So this is actually our AI model, which is tracking a ship, which is actually proceeding. So this has been run at a different speed so that our AI model works really well in order to track it. Objects like ships, vessels, and then aeroplanes, train, cars, and all have been trained through our AI model. Still on an experimental basis, it's not perfect, but yeah, next video. Next video. It's already done. So these are the AI model trying to capture cars, the white colored cars specifically, and approximately 60 to 70% confidence it has. And you guys don't have privacy anymore, okay? So I'll tell you that. Next video. And yeah, so this is actually tracking an airfield wherein you can see the aeroplane in a taxiway. It's being, it's getting to take off, or it's going to be parked, I don't know. But this is the video. You can play the next one. And we actually ran our AI model on top of it, and that's how it is able to detect it. And it can be used for tracking enemy planes or war planes which are going across an area. Whatever cannot be captured through radar also, we are trying to do it through satellite-based videos. So instead of looking from the down, we are looking from the top. There are limitations, of course, but pretty sure we'll fine-tune it to get it accurate. Next video, sir. That's it, huh? Yeah, that's the actual video. Yeah, so this is the train, the first one you saw, which has been getting tracked. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. So a lot of inspiration has come from, the ancient Vimana Shastras, and a lot of knowledge is, hidden inside, and we have to dig deep and then get it out. Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Srimati Kavya Vadadi garu. I would now like to ask a session chair, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya garu, to present memento, shawl and certificate to our speakers. I request my team to help serve at the felicitation.
So the next speaker is Dr. Vrajesh Kumar Khambojla. He will be presenting his paper on some fascinating STEM ideas in Indian knowledge systems. Dr. Vrajesh Kumar Khambojla integrates Indian knowledge system with data science, AI and pedagogy, making ancient wisdom relevant to the modern challenges. His academic and research work includes presenting at international congress and optimizing algorithms. His innovative approach bridges tradition and technology, advancing both education and research. Dr. Khambojla is a visionary committed to enhancing modern scientific practice practices with ancient insights. I invite Dr. Khambozla to give his presentation.
Namaste everyone. I would like to directly go to the presentation. It is my pleasure to be here at this ICONBharat conference organized by SRIVT and others. And I feel like I am among the like-minded people. And so let me start this presentation with enthusiasm. So some outline of my presentation is, I will present some IKS ideas that inspired the world. Some IKS ideas, those are needed, those are used to be, those are to be applied to reshape the modern world, because in modern developments we have so many problems, we are facing so many problems. I will also share some about them. IKS ideas mostly unknown for the world. So such ideas are so many among the vast ocean of the Sanskrit literature, Sanskrit Vangmay, and some conclusion, and then if you have any questions or discussion. So some IKS ideas that inspired the world are philosophy, darshan. If we check the philosophical ideas of the whole world in any corner of the world, mostly they are part of Indian philosophy, Bharatiya Darshan Shastra, 6 Astik Darshans and 6 Nastik Darshans. So you will find the elements of Bharatiya Dwadash Darshan in them. Then chemistry, we will see how periodic table was made by Mendeleev, inspired by Sanskrit Varnmala. Mathematics, 0 decimal number system, place value notations, we very well know about that it is the gift of India to the world, and based on Indian mathematics, 0 and decimal number system, place value notation only, the modern mathematics and modern scientific developments stand. Next is space-time matter, the relativity, how it is related to Advaita Vedanta. Nanotechnology, we had so much information about nanotechnology based on our Rasayan Shastra, Rasha Shastra. Shastri ji presented that, how as SRIVT is working on it for last 25 years. Holistic healthcare, that is about Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, the concepts of holistic healthcare are given. In US and other countries, the new concept for medical science is holistic healthcare. It is not necessary that they treat the person only by allopathic medical treatment. They combine other treatments also if they are working in the benefit of the patient. Metallurgy, Viman Shastra, and so textile engineering, food science, arts, architecture, shilp, and storytelling. Storytelling is something different that you would not have heard you will not hear about it in this conference, but our Itihas Purana are all about storytelling, Ramayana, Mahabharata, and other stories. Whether it is Srimad Bhagavad Katha, Ramayana Katha, and so on. It is not just philosophical, but it is also about spreading the ideas of science, logic, and generate curiosity among the youth and the society. And storytelling is considered, one research also says that storytelling is more effective than presenting some data. So, what happens, we see if we check the recent history of 1000 to 2000 years, all the scientists and most of the scientists and researchers in the West, they did not get inspiration from Western philosophies and ideologies. Often we see whether it is Oppenheimer or Albert Einstein or Nikola Tesla, their philosophy, their research philosophy that connects with Indian philosophy, Bharatiya Darshan. And the reason is, in Bharatiya Darshan, philosophy, Vigyan, science and Vyavhar, the practices, they go hand in hand. They do not contradict each other. While in Western philosophy, when Galileo said the earth is spherical, he was given death penalty. That is not the practice in India. It has not been the practice in Bharat. And it can be seen in our Sanskrit Vangmay, that has our historical records. Yogo Jnanam Tatha Sankhyam Vidya Shilpari Karma Cha Veda Shastrani Vigyan Metat Sarvam Janardana, says Mahabharata in Vishnu Sahasranam Mahatmya. We also see Jnanam Vigyan Sahitam in the 9th Adhyaya of Gita, its first shloka. When Krishna starts explaining something to Arjuna, he says, now I will give you the Jnan with Vigyan. So when it is said Vigyan in our Sanskrit Vangmay, it is not other Vigyan, it is the science only. For example, outside India, the Indic studies, Indology has inspired many inventions like relativity, decimal number system, place value notation, wood, steel, plastic surgeries, even the kitchen herbs, they were used by Indians, those were popular in the world, and the clothes, fabric. So first I take the example of philosophy quickly. If you see the modern history of philosophy or modern philosophy, it starts from Plato about 3rd century BC. And if you check the element of the main elements of modern history, they are Tattva Mimamsa, Jnana Mimamsa, Niti and Tarka. But they could not explain it the way these branches of philosophy are explained in Bharatiya Darshan Shastra. And we have so much literature in Sanskrit about this Darshan Shastra, these branches of Darshan Shastra. So is this full history of philosophy? Or we should include the history of Bharatiya Darshan Shastra also here in this history of philosophy? And how should we define Darshan or philosophy? Because there is a small definition of philosophy that is given by modern philosophical ideas. And what says Indian philosophy? It says, यथार्थतया ज्ञायते पदार्थे नेनेति दर्शनम, जो जैसा है उसको उसी रूप में देखना समझना वह दर्शन है. तो रिलेटिविटी इसमें बिल्कुल ना हो, फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस का आइडिया ना हो, इट शुड बी एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ, दैट इज दर्शन. सो व्हेन भारतीय दर्शन सेज सम दर्शन और फिलोसॉफी, इट सेज, इट टॉक्स अबाउट द एब्सोल्यूट ट्रूथ एंड नॉट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू और ओपिनियन. क्या ये विचार, आर दिस नॉट द थॉट्स ऑफ a scientist or mathematician or researcher? Yes, it matches the thinking of a researcher or scientist. That's why Professor Norman Brown of University of Pennsylvania in 1939 said that no department of study in any major university can be fully equipped without fully trained specialists in Indic phases of its discipline. भारतीय ज्ञान का इतना महत्व उन्होंने आइडेंटिफाई तब से कर लिया था. And that's how they started studying and introducing Sanskrit literature and Indology, Indic studies in their various branch of studies. The reason is, भारतीय दर्शन का जो ज्ञान है, भारतीय संस्कृत वाङ्मय में जो ज्ञान है, that is काल गर्भित and कालातीत. काल गर्भित means that is something that is in the, it will appear with time, it will be known to mankind with time. And Kalatit means it is possible that humankind will never know what it is and why it is. So those are considered to be explained in Bharatiya Darshan and Bharatiya Sanskrit Vangmay. Some other second such example, how modern chemistry is inspired by Bharatiya Darshan. So some examples of Indian Bharatiya Rasayan Shastra and chemistry are the idea of Som Rasayan for rejuvenation and longevity, metals of Bhasma, Vidhi and Prayog in Ayurveda, Charak and Shushrut has explained, which introduces nanoparticles and nanotechnology. Damascus steel was earlier known as Folade-Hind, Hindwani, Jawabe-Hind, wood steel. Now we know it as wood steel. So these were the earlier known names of Damascus steel or wood steel. So lost wax techniques and so on. Loh Siddhi, converting the iron copper into gold using alchemy. So those were the siddhis of ancient Indians. Now periodic table, when Mendeleev was making periodic table, he had some trouble how to arrange the elements. Now we know the periodic table in this form after Mendeleev gave it, but he got inspiration from his friend Bortling, who was a Sanskrit scholar and researcher. And what Bortling did, he suggested him that how in Sanskrit grammar, from where the शब्द are ucharans are varnmala ucharan sthana are there. According to that, it is made in a table from where it is being produced, and Bottling suggested him to use properties of the elements and arrange them in tabular form. If you see for Sanskrit Varnamala also you will see tabular form. Ka, cha, ta, ta, pa in those 5 works. So that's how, and this is recorded history. And in Mendele's research paper where he introduces this periodic table, he gave the credit to Sanskrit and Panini by nomenclature, this nomenclature for these unknown elements at that time. He introduced the word eka aluminium, eka, ek means 1, eka silicon, eka boron, 3 manganese, dvi tellurium, and so on. So he used this Sanskrit prefixes to define these unknown elements at that time in the periodic table he presented. Now, if we come to mathematics, what should be the greatest mathematical discovery of all the time? So, David Bailey and Jonathan Borwein suggested that decimal number system should be given that credit, and so India should be given that credit. And the Indian who invented this decimal number system should not be given less importance than Archimedes, Newton, Gauss, or Ramanujan. So from where comes the decimal number system? So in earlier session also this mantra of Rigved was seen. Chatvari Shringa Trayavasya Padadve Shirshe Saptahasta. So it is explanation about Agni Deva. But same explanation also can be considered to define mathematics. There are 2 heads, so it is called Aksharamnai, Ankamnai in mathematics. Aksharamnai means using words. Mathematics is presented, like you can say word problem in mathematics textbooks, right? And Ankamnai means with digits and equations. There are 4 horns, so the Agni Dev has 4 horns, 2 heads and 4 horns. 4 horns are like 4 basic operations, addition, multiplication, subtraction. 3 feet, 1, 9, 10, these 3 digits, and he has 7 hands. So whatever is explained in this mantra, it is analogous to define mathematics, the subject of mathematics. And so it also says it is bounded by 3 bounds, and those 3 bounds are Desh, Kal, Vastu. Now if you see space, time and matter, Desh, Kal, Vastu are the 3 things on which we can apply mathematics. If anything is beyond space, time, matter, we cannot apply mathematics. But fortunately in the universe, everything is in the boundary of space, time, matter. And that is called the result of what we call in the Bharatiya Darshan, Maya, Jagat. So Jagan Mithya means that is philosophical idea. Let me not go in that direction. But space, it is bounded by this Vrushab or this Purush is bounded by space, time and matter. So anything that has emerged from, that has appeared from space, time and matter, that is defined by spatial coordinates and time coordinate, that can be bounded by mathematics. Or you can do mathematics about it, mathematical analysis or mathematical modeling about that. And some more ideas from Mahabharat, Sarvam Sankhyanam Gochara. There is nothing that cannot be bounded by mathematics. Rigved says Tridabaddo Vrushibo in earlier slide as we saw. Desh Kal Vastuna Makalanam Ganitam, it is again from Mahabharata. So anything that is bounded by space, time, matter, we can do mathematics about that. Ganitam Kala Buddhaye, to know about time, one has to learn about mathematics. So from where came the idea of zero? It came from Bharatiya Darshan, Bharatiya Sanskrit Vangmay. It says, Mule Shunyam Vijanya, Shunyam Vai Parabrahma. So the Avyakta Parabrahma, Nirgun Brahma, is explained as zero. And that is the role of mathematics, that is the role of zero in mathematics. And the same role of Avyakta Nirgun Brahma, Ishwar Paramatma, its Nirgun form is in the universe. So how it multiplied? So Taittiriya Upanishad says, So Kamayat. He just wished that I become many. And that's how Vedic Ganesh Sutra says, Ekadikena Purvena, one more than the previous one, its meaning is. And that's how it multiplied. So 0, 0, 2, 0 plus 1. So 0 is called Shava, or it is also called Brahma or Shiva, and 1 is called Maya or Shakti. If you do this analogy from 0 to 1, all binary number system, not only binary system can be explained, but also the rest of the mathematics and the number system, decimal number system. The West says 0 is meaningless, but Sankhya Sutra says na vastu to vastu siddhi. जिस वस्तु का अवस्तु से वस्तु की सिद्धि संभव नहीं है. If 0 is nothing, it cannot be used for something, but it is used everywhere. And without it, we cannot do mathematics and engineering and technological developments. So 0 is not 0 in that sense. It is not meaningless. When you wish to eat banana, the wish is 0. You don't have a banana, but the wish emerges in your mind, and then you put some action for it, and when you have one banana in your hand, you go to market, you take one banana in your hand, then you have one banana. But it started from where? From your mind. So 0 is that wish. What is the time? How much time is left? 20 minutes over. So this is the shloka from Srimad Bhagavat. And it says what is the age of Brahma. It is called Dviparardha. The number Dviparardha means 2 into 10 power 18. 1 parardha is 10 power 18. So this number is given in this shloka. And who says this? This shloka is praise to Krishna when Krishna appears on Janmashtami in Kansa's prison in front of Vasudeva Devaki. Devaki praises Krishna. Before that, Vasudeva praises Krishna. And this is one of that shloka. And Devaki says, after the end of Brahma's ayu, Brahma's age is over, Brahma's death. And what is that age? 2 into 10 power 18. 1 parardha means 10 power 18. What remains? You remains. Only you remains. And from this shloka, Shishyate Shesha Sanghya, that part, the Govardhan Pit Shankaracharya Bharati Krishna Tirji Maharaj developed Vedic Ganit. This is one of the sutra of that shloka. This is used for division operations in Vedic Ganit. Shishyate Shesha Sanghya. So this is how the ideas of mathematics are there. And similarly, scientific and other ideas, science and other ideas are also imbibed in our Sanskrit literature. Now, what is storytelling? So, Ramayana, Mahabharata, etc. These IKS traditions we have, right? Now, these are the ancient traditions. And what happened? What is the power of storytelling? It connects you emotionally and it creates images in your mind. It gives you focus, motivation and memory because during modern research of storytelling, it is found that dopamine and oxytocin are released. These hormones are released in your brain, which are released only when you do some exercise or something that is exciting for you. Now, if you see cave painting to Natya Shastra and marvelous temples across ICONBharat, not just modern day India, but ICONBharat I am talking about, you will see this storytelling you will find there in terms of Ramayana, Mahabharata and everything, the structures saying about stories about them. Now, modern media is also doing that through social media and other stuff. Why? Because storytelling is more trustworthy than explaining some data or presenting some data. And this was the power of storytelling that has been used in ancient India. So similar, if we see about psychology and other ideas, those were so much rich and they were implemented in such a way in our society in ancient India, and they are present in those Sanskrit texts that if we work on that, we can find great results for further development for the humankind. Now what happened, if you see this is just one example, Panchatantra, storytelling, it traveled from India to Germany and it was translated in various languages in those years. So this is just one example. This is how the knowledge traveled from India, knowledge of mathematics, science, technology, astronomy, and so on. Okay, so I will not go for more in these ideas, but some ideas, so these were some ideas modern science, technology and other developments have used so far. Now, some IKS ideas to reshape the modern world. Why it is needed? Because humanity has wiped out about 60% of population since 1970. Extinction crisis puts 1 million species on verge of disappearing. This is study, right? And This is because just thinking about development, science, technology and so on, but in some directionless way, right? So if there was 60% decline in human population, that would be equivalent to emptying North America and other countries. This is what mankind has done with other animals and trees and plants and the wilds. So because of this development and science, technology and other developments, without following the disciplines and rules and regulations given in Sanskrit Vangmay and Indian knowledge systems, what has happened? The world has made this Panch Mahabhut kupit. They are angry, right? So Prithvi is Tattva is kupit because of these reasons, radioactive and other chemical waste, okay, mining and landfills, water. Panch Mahabhut means Prithvi, Jal, Agni, Akash, Vayu. How we have disturbed them, how we have polluted them, right? Not only the life forms. Agni, burning anything, and it is prohibited in Indian knowledge systems, mentioned there, that burning anything and everything is prohibited. But we are burning everything. Burning waste makes energy, 10 billion industry in US. Just thinking about profit, money and so on. But where are we going? So Vayu, pollution, we have not even left the space. Space debris, Sunita Williams is struggling there, right? So I will skip some slides. This has also happened with yoga. We have forgotten what is Yam Niyam and we directly do Asan Pranayam. But we have to follow what is Yam Niyam, Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Parigraha. The same has happened with using Indian knowledge system, but superficially. Same has happened with Ayurveda also. So what we need to do? What causes more pollution? Biogas, wood or the petroleum-based products? And same is going to be happen with AI. So I will skip. As they are developing AI, Stephen Hawking warned artificial intelligence could end human race. Now Stephen Hawking and other experts, even father of AI, Geoffrey Hinton, said that the machine learning and neural networks they have developed could end the human race. They are worried about it, right? But the oldest warning and prohibition about Mahayantra, that is kind of systems like AI, is given in Indian knowledge system. Where? In Manusmriti, where there is explanation about what are the crimes and which should be considered crime. One crime is making yantras, those are capable of thinking and acting like human brain and humans. So humanoid robots, right? So AI is in that direction. But this is considered crime. You cannot create machines which can replace humans or mimic humans. So which have their own intellect, right? So Mahayantra Pravartanam, this is just fourth part of that shloka. The other parts explain other crimes. So you can check 11th Adhyay, 63rd shloka. So this was warned by Indian knowledge system and it is of Karan Siddhant. There are also reasons why this happens using Indian knowledge systems. So I will skip some of this. If the Hollywood or the West presents us some ideas and developments and inventions and imaginary ideas on the base of Indian knowledge system, we accept. Like we accepted this 2012 Interstellar and Lucy, these movies. They are super hit science fiction. But if our experts, acharyas and other people share something from Indian knowledge systems, we see it something like skepticism. So these are some IKS ideas, mostly unknown for the world. You can take photo in case if you wish to go for the detail. Like sir said, to know something by intuition. So yes, Ashruta Grantha Bodha, this word has come there. Even if you have not heard about the text or scripture, still you can get knowledge about it. So some fascinating ideas that Indian knowledge system has, but the modern developments, science has not cracked yet. These are some of the ideas. One of them is Padarth Parivartan by solar energy. Any object can be converted to another object using solar energy. It is mentioned as a Padarth Parivartan by solar energy. Viman Shastra is also one of them, because whatever is explained in Viman Shastra, in the available Viman Shastra Grantha text, it is yet not correct, and it is not possible to create such Vimana with that speed and capacity. So Krishna traveled to Delhi, from Delhi to Dwarika, that is about 1,392 kilometers, using their Ashva Shakti, their horses and chariot. Now it is, if you check just in Google Maps, by car, it takes more than 12 hours. Then how could Krishna travel from that distance? If we should see these with the idea of science and technology, and not just these just imaginary stories, right? Brahmastra, science returning guided missiles which can cause universal destructions. So once Ashwatthama used Brahmastra, Arjuna reversed it. So he could do it because he knew how to reverse the Brahmastra. So Brahmastras were of two types explained there. One which can be reversed, one which cannot be reversed. So guided missiles which can be reversed. Modern technology cannot reverse the guided missile still, right? If I am not wrong. Mahati Veena, the instrument that Naradji has with him. Naradji does not play fingers on that Veena. It is explained there. Its name is Mahati Veena. It plays itself as per the wish of Naradji. He thinks it should play this rag or this svar, and the Veena plays it, right? Power to stay away death at will. Bhishma and other are examples, longevity examples, very long life. Animals giving up their enemy behavior in certain region or ashram. It plays like a jammer. Does it work like a jammer? So there are such jammers that animals could not behave cruelly. So there are several ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would like to ask the session chair, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya Garu, to present memento, shawl and certificate to our speaker, Dr. Rajesh Kumar Garu. I request my team to help sir with the felicitation.
Next speaker is Sri Kushal Yarlagada. His topic is integrating ancient wisdom with AI to predict human. Just like Sri Kushal has a master's degree in astrology and advanced studies in AI and business analytics. Merges Vedic astrology with cutting-edge AI through Destiny and Destiny.ai. His initiative use of AI for the daily predictions includes decision trees, reinforcement learning, and LLMs. His research on Prana Dasha and his upcoming book Destiny of Matrix, Secrets of Human Grid, highlights his role as a thought leader, bridging ancient wisdom and modern technology. Sushilji.
Thank you very much, sir, for the introduction. And today I'm going to tell you a journey and a world secret that was being hidden across the centuries. So, Innovating Destiny is our company's mission and vision, through which we are bringing up ancient wisdom, as sir has mentioned, and that is Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. That is one of the ancient texts written by Maharshi Parashara itself. There were different contributors in this subject, Bhrigu Maharshi, Varaha Mira, etc. But Maharshi Parashara's text is so prevalent right now, and his text has been saved. Unfortunately, other theories have been misplaced, or we have been invaded multiple times. But let's explore this. So, Maharshi Parashara is the second, one of the founders, father of the astrology, where he has specifically mentioned one formula, and this is the secret. Most of the astrologers, they will just study the Kundali and they will check the Dasha system. According to that, they will give the prediction. However, Maharshi Parashara has given that formula called prana. We all know that prana is just an essential forces of life, but it is a qualitative. No one ever expected that qualitative can be quantified in a measurable terms. And that's the major hypothesis which we are also focusing upon, because there are no concrete scientific evidences to prove it right now. And we have started this research 2 years ago, continuously doing this research. And second thing is the text given by the Maharshi Parashara belongs to certain 50,000 years ago, but that text doesn't apply in this contemporary world. And this is the challenge. We have modernized most of his text. Recently, even in today morning, few of the sessions have mentioned that ancient Sanskrit need to be modernized, and that has to be organized in a proper manner for the benefit of the humanity. And we have done the step one for it by translating BPHS, that is Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Within this, as I mentioned, the prana. This is the philosophy over here. The actual way of astrology, people say that outside planets are affecting our life. But this theory contradicts that theory, that whatever happens within our life, it's within us, it's inside us. The theory states that the moment we are born on this earth, the first breath we take it, we accept that the mother is our earth. And all other planets and all other natural resources are the natural driving forces of our destiny and life, till from birth to death, and from birth and that from death to rebirth again. So the concept of prana has given even a pattern where we can even predict the human death, but we are not touching it right now. So these are certain factors where prana is being involving in our life, from birth time, balance of mind, potentiality, directions, and the way of decision making, intuition, etc. All this is being mentioned in Brihat Parashara Hora Shastra. Most of the research is completely based upon the inferential scale, and it's just like mixing few of the texts and identifying what has been missed, creating a story, validating it again with the contemporary data systems. Right. So this is one such theory where our prana, that chakras, from Kundalini chakras, that's been connected to our planets. There is no contemporary proof of for this right now. It's just a hypothesis. We are proving it right now. However, it may take time, several years of time, right? So this connection, just how drive our life, gives few other variables, that is time. So time association of time here is been one of the complex subject over here. Prana and time is completely two different things, but the formula is itself associated with the time. 24 hours on this earth, it may increase future because of the orbital distance, as most of them have. One of the startup is working on space tech, he might be understanding how it will be going. So right now we are having 24 hours. Within this 24 hours, there are dynamic sets of prana energies that's been transforming within ourselves. And that is the reason human behave differently in different times. And that's how we have identified this formula to predict that behavior. So, as I mentioned, it is associated with time, and as the author, the philosopher Maharshi Parashara, during his advent of time, this formula used by ancient kings at that time. Down the line, many of the increasing population and the subject have become more generalized and introduced more theories. For example, Sade Sati, Elnats and in Telugu people will call it. but this is much more accurate, which may reject all other theories. So we have been testing this on 700 people right now. We'll be increasing the sample size furthermore. And the application of this theory and the formula is 99% in accuracy of daily prediction. Right now we are focusing upon daily prediction. What's going to happen tomorrow? That's the philosophy. Most people might be getting confused or people might get scared, but this is the philosophy. As we all know that we are already destined, and philosophically, as sir has mentioned, that there are many stories. One philosophy we have to also identify that this is the 71st Kali Yuga. I have already spoken to you already in this dais, in the another Kali Yuga. So the circle repeats in a conical way. So this is just as part of a line of every person, what's going to happen tomorrow. So this is the three variables within the algorithm. Basically, the three variables which people have to give is date of birth, time of birth, and place of birth. These three variables are quite enough because to operate this machine, what we have developed with. So 4 billion data knowledge, subjectively Lagna information. I hope you understand the Lagna chart. The astrologers use it, Lagna Kundali, that contains 4 billion data sets. 4 billion data sets is not a small number, but it's a complex number. People may not even get it easily. Even only the human mind, a pro astrologer can understand that Lagna. But training the AI system is a bit challenging over here. So we have developed certain methodology within it to understand, to make the AI to understand the subject. And prana data pattern, as it is also associated with time series calculation. Philosophically, every human, as God has given 120 years to live. But in this age, people are living up to 70, average 70. Previously, it has been 50 to 70 right now. Ancient time, it was 120, more than 120, 240 years, like this. Still people are there, our Chiranjeevis are there, we are not considering them. And 43,000 time series calculation, it's an inclusion of 120 years of one single individual. The energy interpretation, the energy exhibition of that person is being displayed on this earth. So it's just like we are on a huge screen, 3D screen, and to one cosmic giant who has been viewing us on this earth. So yeah, this is the variable and the outline of the algorithm which we have developed. This is the AI system trained with LLMs. LLMs is the large language models. It's a contemporary, most advanced AI system employed by most AI agents. Like OpenAI has been using LLMs to generate the advanced text, and most of the companies have been competing against each other with this model. So it's just a complex mathematics. However, why we have included LLMs over here with assisted learning model is system need to understand itself, right? For example, if you have ever used a Tesla car, the car learns by itself how to drive rather than we are driving it. It observes its surroundings and move around it on its way. So the system will learn by itself. That's the assisted learning model in the basic contemporary world of assisted learning. However, the LLMs, advantage of LLMs over here is to calculate this 4 billion and this data sets in a fraction of a second. Manually, it will take hours and hours of time. If I sit manually, I can do 99% accurate prediction, but it may take up to 1 or 2 hours. And manually, people don't even employ this sort of methodology because this was accurate and very ancient. Now, AI system can do it. So we are not just making the system so dangerous. We are also constraining itself so that it is safe for people. Right now, we are at the beta version. It's available in the Google Play Store. So people who are always worried about the tomorrow, what's going to happen the tomorrow, is made for the current generation of people who are in a decision-making phase. So this is all. I'm going to conclude my presentation over here about the Destiny.ai. Thank you very much. Last but not least, my mother has funded for all this project. She is the key player. She's there. And she's a key player in the whole project where, from root to this level. And furthermore, it's in the beta version, the pilot version. Further developments will be on the progress. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would like to ask our session chair, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya Garu, to present memento, shawl and certificate to our speaker, Shri Kushal Yerlagadda Garu. I request the team to help serve with the felicitation.
In this session, we have the last speaker, and he will be online from Germany, Dr. Ulrich Berg, and he will be speaking on Agnihotra therapy. He is doing a lot of prachar and prasar of Agnihotra in the West. Dr. Berg is the president of the German Association of Homotherapy. He has a master's degree in philosophy of science and PhD, had a distinguished career as an assistant professor in Constance University and a business consultant. Over 3 decades, he has advanced interdisciplinary research and coordinated international studies on homotherapy, recently expanding efforts in India, recognized with awards such as the Lifetime Achievement Award in Environment. Dr. Berg has delivered over 250 talks globally, highlighting his expertise in environmental sustainability and holistic well-being. Dr. Berg is also my good friend, and I invite him to present his paper on Agnihotra. I think that is a video recording, no? That will be played here. Thank you.
I'm grateful to Dr. Sastry for the invitation to talk here on this platform. I'm in contact with SRIVT for I'm happy and grateful to Dr. Sastry for the invitation to talk here on this platform. I'm in contact with SRIVT for quite some time. I met Dr. Sastry maybe 15 years ago on a conference in Pune, which was on traditional knowledge. And since then, we are in contact. And I went to his place twice. The first time I was in Hyderabad. And then when he shifted to Guntur, I was there at this conference also. And I was impressed that in his institute, Vedic knowledge is not just studied theoretically as some philosophical interesting knowledge, but that it is put into practice. That is, the Vedic texts were studied, and he tried to find out whether the things actually work. So he produced nano particles with the help of herbs, which is quite exceptional, a very good quality, and a very simple way, not polluting. And that was really impressive. And then also he helped me to analyze Agnihotra ash as compared to control ash. And that leads to more understanding of how this ancient knowledge of Agnihotra work. So I'm very grateful to Dr. Sastry, and I'm looking forward to collaborating in future also. Afternoon, everybody, to this conference, Ancient Wisdom and Modern Applications. I'm thankful to the organizers, especially to Dr. Sastry, for inviting me and to talk about Agnihotra Vedic knowledge in the light of modern science. This is me and the contact data. And why is it so important? The ancient knowledge of the Vedas has long been nearly forgotten, and only in recent decades, as modern technology has led to a terrific destruction of the planet, more and more people are looking into that ancient-most body of knowledge known to mankind in search of solutions to this urgent and serious problem. One such solution is Agnihotra, a simple but fundamental copper purifier performed exactly at the time of sunrise and sunset. We do not take Vedic knowledge for granted, but treat statements of the Vedas as hypotheses, which then will be put to test by modern science. So what is Agnihotra? It is a fire you perform in a small copper pyramid of fixed size and shape. And the ingredients are dried cow dung, pure cow dung, not mixed with any other dung, pure cow's ghee, unpolished rice, unbroken pieces only, akshat, and mantra, and exact timings of sunrise, sunset. Now, these timings, to get these timings is very easy. We have an app called Agnihotra Buddy, available both for Android phones and iPhones, which give you easily for every place, every date, the exact timing of sunrise and sunset. And the mantras. Mantras very simple. In the morning, it's Suryaya Swaha, Suryaya Idam Namama, Prajapataye Swaha, Prajapataye Idam Namama. And after Swaha, you add one portion of rice mixed with ghee into the fire. And in the evening, also two mantras, Agnaye Swaha, Agnaye idam namama, Prajapataye Swaha, Prajapataye idam namama. That's it. Very simple mantras. And the whole process, morning Agnihotra, evening Agnihotra, takes anything between 5 and 10 minutes. And why is this timing of sunrise, sunset so important? There is some ancient knowledge which says at the time of sunrise, there's a flood of energies coming from the sun to the place on the earth where the sun appears to rise. This flood carries a subtle music in it, and the quintessential sound of that music is the mantra which we do. This explains why we have to be strict with the timing and also with these mantras. Interesting, I found this slide from an American astrophysicist, and he confirms what I said. He says that at sunrise, million ampere currents head in toward the Earth, and at sunset, they go out again. So when we perform Agnihotra, the fire already should be fully ablaze, and then we take a few grains of rice mixed with ghee. For example, we take it in the left hand or in some copper dish. And after Swaha in these mantras, we add it to the fire. We do that with the right hand. Even left-handed people do it with the right hand because right hand, left hand have different energies. And what happens? It is said that the channel is created through all the atmosphere, and life energy, prana energy, comes down through this channel, creates an aura energy field around our plants nearby. When the flame dies, this energy comes back and is collected and stored in the Agnihotra ash. This is why the Agnihotra ash has these healing effects in different parts. So what happens? What is the benefit of aromatherapy? Basically, all nature comes back to harmony. The environment is purified, atmosphere, soil, and water resources. Also, biodiversity gets restored. In this way, food security can be maintained and human health improves, both physical and mental. In In my talk for the Silver Jubilee of SRIVT, I talked about these benefits at some length, and you can see the recording on this tube links. So today I want to only summarize the effects and then concentrate on the question, how come? What are the mechanisms? How does this Agnihotra work? And please note one thing, all these following studies, everything what I say is based on Agnihotra, exact Agnihotra, copper pyramid of exact size and shape, precise materials, correct timings, correct exact to the second, and exact mantras. I know that there are many, many other yajnas, and what I say has nothing to do with them. That is about these other yajnas. We did not do any studies, so I can't comment on that. Effects on Agnihotra on the atmosphere first. There are many studies done on the effect on the atmosphere. One is the bacterial load in atmosphere goes down. You see here, left was the petri dishes were opened before Agnihotra, right side after Agnihotra, then sent for incubation. Immediately you see a big reduction in these bacteria. Also, particulate matter and SOx, NOx are reduced. Here you see an experiment done at Vikram University in Ujjain, where they have a high volume air sampler and measured the particulate matter. Then more such results, experiments were done at other universities. And here you see the chemical air pollution, SOx and NOx, as well as the physical air pollution, particulate matter. In the moment of Agnihotra, they go a little bit up because of the smoke, but then they come down by 30–40%. Also very interesting, at the time of Agnihotra, there's a sharp increase in the negative ion content in the air. And you know, negative ions are an indicator of fresh air. So Agnihotra improves that a lot. Effects on water. There was one simple experiment done in Pune. They took water from a polluted river and poured it through a cylinder filled with Agnihotra ash. And the water, which was very much polluted, afterwards had drinking water quality. For example, bacterial count went down by more than 90%. But not only, and this is why people use it, Agnihotra ash, to purify their drinking water. Put a little bit Agnihotra ash in the water in the evening, drink it in the morning. That's a very good method. But not only, small quantities of water can be purified, even big water bodies like a river. That is the Narmada River in the vicinity of Maheshwar in MP. The Narmada River is quite big at the time, and they have research stations where they test the quality of water. There were 2 research stations below or upstream of our homotherapy place and 1 research station downstream. And you see here the water quality. The second last column is Maheshwar, where we perform homotherapy. And there the water quality is much better than upstream and downstream. So this HOMA works also on larger water bodies. Effects on soil. We have seen that with HOMA organic farming methods, which are based on regular Agnihotra, use of Agnihotra ash, and a fertilizer containing Agnihotra ash, cow dung, and cow urine, and vermicompost, we can achieve better yields, better quality of crops, resistance to pests and diseases, improvement of soil health, beneficial microbes increase, harmful microbes are being controlled. Both alkaline, sodic, and acidic soil gets back to normal pH, and soil by organic carbon increases, thus helping to sequester CO2 from the atmosphere. And this point is very important in the context of climate change. Modern agriculture is highly contributing to CO2 in the atmosphere. One big factor is the reduction of SO2 by erosion, which removes humus content, by killing microbes, by burning paddy straw, and so on. With HOMA organic farming, soil organic carbon increases. We have measured 15 to 17%. And in India, on conventional farms, the SOC content is mostly less than 1%, often even around 0.5%. So now, let's come to Agnihotra ash. How does it work? First, one simple experiment. You see here, that was a germination experiment. That was done in many, many places. We germinate seeds, same seeds, only one thing with tap water, second with Agnihotra ash at the right side, and in the middle we have control ash. Control ash we do because we know that any ash has some nutrients. So just comparing tap water with Agnihotra ash water would not be fair. So the control ash we prepare by burning the same substances, also in some copper vessel, but not using the exact dimensions and shape of the Agnihotra pyramid, not using the mantras, and not doing this at sunrise, sunset. And you see with Agnihotra ash, there's a big change, of course, big change compared to tap water, but also big improvement compared to control ash. Now the question, how come? It can't be the chemical composition of Agnihotra ash which leads to this difference. First thing, chemically speaking, there's hardly any difference. How could there be? Because we burn the same substances, and we have a comparison. This experiment was done in Guntur by Dr. Sastry in 2014, comparing the contents of Agnihotra ash and control ash. Most elements are pretty much the same, only copper has a higher content, Agnihotra ash has a higher content in copper than control ash. That may not be a general result, because in other places we do not have this. For example, that was a result which we got from Shivapuri in Maharashtra some time ago, and then the copper content was 0.05%. So it's not always such a high content in Agnihotra ash. And also, if you look at some results we got from US, the copper content is here's 2%, and there in this measurement 1%. It depends on the cow dung which they used. Of course, the cow dung composition of the cow dung is different depending on what the cows eat. So there is some difference in this composition of the Agnihotra ash, but that does not matter. The effect is there independent of the exact analysis of the Agnihotra ash. So that leads to the question, and that is also the same, whether we use Agnihotra ash from India, from South America, North America, Australia, or Europe. In all these places, we get similar positive results of the Agnihotra ash. So the question is, how come, if it's not the chemical composition? So we did some spectroscopy analyses of both Agnihotra ash and control ash. First thing is, that was done infrared absorption in Aamanchi in Maharashtra. And you see there are some differences, especially there are some additional peaks, blue is the Agnihotra ash, which are not there in the control ash. And then we did UV visible light spectroscopy, again done by Dr. Sastry in Guntur. And also here you see some difference, not very big difference. Basically the graphs are relatively similar, still some difference you see. Here, that experiment was done a long time back in IIT Madras, X-ray diffraction, and also here you see some differences. It would be good to repeat all these analyses and also do this with different types of Agnihotra, and control ash means with ashes from different sources where they use different kinds of cow dung and so on and so on. And I invite all scientists interested in this subject to come on board and help to better understand how Agnihotra and Agnihotra ash work. So that refers to the electromagnetic properties. But there's another hypothesis, and that is sound. Sound influences matter. And this has been nicely shown in many demonstrations of cymatics, which studies the effect of sound waves on inert substances like sand, powder, or liquids. Here you see a photo of which was done at Bell's laboratory in US long time back in the 50s, and they make sound waves visible. So that is very impressive. Another technique is to have one plate with, for example, some liquid, for example, water, and underneath you have some loudspeaker. And different frequencies lead to different patterns. Here you see a lot, for example, piano notes give a certain patterns. So that shows impressively that sound influences matter. It has a strong effect on matter. And in Agnihotra, sound plays an important role. We have two types of sound. First, the sound of the mantras. And second, it is also said, as in the beginning I mentioned, that at sunrise, the many fires, electricities, ethers, and more subtle energies are emanating from the sun and extend all the way to the earth and produce a flood effect at those coordinates where the sun is said to rise. At sunrise, that music can be heard. The morning Agnihotra mantras is the essence of that flood. This is the quintessential sound of that flood. So we have these two things, the sound coming from the sun and the sound of the mantras. So that leads to a strong resonance effect. Therefore, it seems obvious that sound plays an important role in the modus operandi of Agnihotra, in the mechanisms how Agnihotra works. But there's a problem. According to common knowledge of physics, sound is a vibration that propagates as an acoustic wave through a transmission medium such as gas, liquid, or solid. And the images shown in the previous slides made these vibrations of sound visible in an impressive manner. But these vibrations only last for a short time. The vibration patterns in liquids, for example water, subside after a short time. In sand, they would stay until you move the plate. Then immediately the pattern will be destroyed. So with Agnihotra ash, how can this vibrational pattern be stored? Because Agnihotra is taken out from the pyramid, filled in glass bottles, shaking during transport, taken out of the bottle, and, for example, mixed with soil for germination experiments. No way that an original vibration pattern could survive this treatment. Still, such a vibration pattern in Agnihotra ash must be somehow stored, as we can see when we add this ash to water and then shock freeze drops of that water. See this result. This is water where you added Agnihotra ash, and then you take a drop of that water and put it on a glass plate which is cooled down to minus 30 degrees. Immediately, the water freezes and you get these nice crystals with Agnihotra ash. Without the ash, you don't get the crystals. So that shows that somehow a subtle sound is stored in Agnihotra ash, and when this subtle sound gets released, and then this subtle sound gets released when Agnihotra gets in contact with plants, animals, and humans. This would explain the healing effects of Agnihotra ash in the different fields. But as modern science, scientific equipment cannot measure this sound yet, this is for the moment only a hypothesis. If true, this hypothesis could also explain the results of an experiment we did with water and bacteria.
Thank you, sir. I would like to request our session chair, Dr. Ravi Prakash Arya Garu, to give his concluding remarks.
If anybody has any questions addressed to the speaker, you are most welcome. Yeah. You, mic please. After concluding it, then we'll play. Oh, sorry. And you can listen. Okay. So there is no other question. Let me conclude. Okay.
Sir's live, sir.
Huh? Work is live now? Yes. Okay.
Oh yeah, now it seems it works. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if anybody has any question to Dr. Berg on Agnihotra, he is welcome.
Thank you very much. This is a very nice talk. So I have a question for you. You said the composition seems to not really indicate that the presence of copper or too much copper in it is not causing this. Something else is happening. Have you looked into any nanomaterial that might be created in this Agnihotra ash that could be doing whatever it is doing? Because when you are using the sound, maybe some kind of nanomaterial is getting done. Even if it is copper nanomaterial, it definitely has its own effects, which even in very small concentrations will have very beneficial effects.
Yeah, one thing about this analysis, in the comparison we did in Guntur, the copper content was rather high compared with the control ash. But I showed some other slides also with other results. There was not the same thing. So copper was on the same level as the copper in control ash. So this is why I conclude the chemical analysis cannot be the main factor for the effects of Agnihotra. Now, regarding nano materials, yes, we have done some experiments, and one thing is that it seems that with Agnihotra ash, the surface area is larger than in control ash. And surface area, of course, means that there's a lot more possibilities of all kinds of reactions. So that is one thing. But this research is only at the beginning. And as I said, I encourage all scientists who are interested in the subject to join and help with doing more research in this area.
Thank you.
Yes. One more question?
Professor, this is an excellent work done by you. And congratulate SRIVT for doing such a wonderful work. a more scientific insight is seen from this work. This is my comment. My query is, let us say you mentioned in one of the results in the presentation, depending upon the cow, type of the cow, and the type of food it takes, the Agnihotra ash has got some certain features, beneficial properties. Can you throw some light on what type of food, if at all some work is done on that, what type of cow of Indian breed has given these beneficial properties in the Agnihotra ash?
Okay, thank you. See, our result is that it does not depend too much on the fodder of the cows, because we have seen similar results all over the globe. And for example, in Europe or in South America, people feed the cows different things than in India. And still, Agnihotra ash has similar properties. Although the chemical analysis of the ashes, we have done several comparisons, these are quite different. So that means the chemical analysis, although it is different, does not lead to these effects. It is some other properties. As I've mentioned, could be some vibration, could be some sound. We still have to find out. And about the varieties of cows, whenever it is possible, we try to get cow dung from the desi cows, because that is a little bit better. We know that cow dung and ghee from these desi cows. But we have seen the effects of Agnihotra also in other parts of the world where we do not have these desi cows, and still Agnihotra works. So yes, it is little better if you can have cow dung and ghee from desi cows, like we in our place in Maheshwar, Goshala, we have ghee cows. Definitely that is best. But if you do not have these, the products of these desi cows, still effects of Agnihotra are there.
Any more questions?
I have a small doubt, Doctor. I understood in a very simple language you have tried to explain for a commoner like me. My doubt is, when we are doing Agnihotra, does the mental state of a person affect the Agnihotra? Meaning, two different people may chant in a different manner, but if we take the situation, like the same person is chanting, one particular day, on a particular state of mind, Agnihotra works in a different manner, and on a different day, when a person's mental state is a different way, does it affect a different manner, or does it not affect?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. Has to do with Agnihotra and mind. One thing is you perform Agnihotra, and then immediately your mind is changed. Your mind is changed to a more harmonious state, a more state full of love. But of course, we are not always full of love. Yes, Agnihotra is different if you perform Agnihotra. Say if you perform Agnihotra just as a technical thing, you do everything correct, but your mind is wandering around in all. You think of your text declaration or your fight with some friend. Still, you perform Agnihotra, do everything exactly as prescribed. So Agnihotra has some effect. But if you sit down, breathe in deeply, get into a quiet mode, and then you perform Agnihotra with full dedication, definitely this Agnihotra will have a better effect, and the ash will be more useful for making medicines, for example. The other thing also works. but the more mental input we bring into the process of Agnihotra, the better the effect is. So, and the good thing is, if you perform Agnihotra for some time, just practicing Agnihotra helps you to get into this calmer mental stage, being more full of love, and that again increases the effect of Agnihotra.
Last question. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. This is Lakshmi from Ancient Foods India. And thank you very much, sir, for throwing a great light on Agnihotra. I have a very basic question in addition to the previous question. Apart from this cow dung, the powerful cow dung, is there any other ingredients which has to be used for performing the Agnihotra which makes it so powerful? And can we perform this Agnihotra every day at home? And does that give a great difference at home when we perform? Can we perform it every day? Or do we have any special rituals which we have to follow for performing this Agnihotra every day at home?
Okay, no, there's no requirement. You can perform Agnihotra at home every day. Actually, one even should perform Agnihotra regularly per day. That is one of the Nitya karmas, I was told, which you do every day. And it is also said that in ancient Vedic times, Agnihotra was performed in every household daily. And that was a time when we had peace and prosperity on the whole planet. And my idea is that we go back to that ancient Vedic time so that we establish a Vedic culture again. And Agnihotra regularly in every household, morning, evening, is one very important basic tool for that. And the other question, for Agnihotra, we only need cow dung, some cow's ghee, and some grains of rice. No other things, no havan samakri, no other things. And there's no other requirement. You don't, I mean, it's nice to take shower before Agnihotra, but it's not absolutely necessary. And so no more rules. So it's easy for everybody to perform Agnihotra at home, yes.
Yeah. You want to say?
Good. Namaskar, Bergji. How are you?
Oh, hello, namaskar. Thank you, I'm fine. And I'm happy that I'm part of your great conference.
Thank you, thank you. And this your video will be continued, and your speech will be continued. Keep in the view of this time limitations. Just we are giving
Okay.
just a small break, and we will continue this video.
Okay, great.
So
That's
everyone,
very good.
a lot of people are very interested about your presentation. So we missed you in the occasion.
Okay. Okay, and I hope next time when I come to India that we can meet again and we can see how we can cooperate more in future. That is my idea and my hope.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
So thank you. In this session, we had a theme, Ancient Wisdom and Modern Applications. We had 4 speakers, very good speaker. They presented in a very appreciable way. First speaker was Kavya and his friend. They tried to decode the advanced space technology in ancient manuscripts. And they tried to show how many instruments were fitted to the airspace aeroplane by that time. And she mentioned a few of them, just like Pushpini Yantra, Shaktyakarshana Yantra, Parivesha Yantra, Vishwakriya yantra is very fascinating. It will be substituting the radar. They say that it is going to look at the earth and everything moving thing. There is no difference which one is greater, which one is shorter number. But when in decimal system we write 1, 10, 1 0, 100, 1 double 0, 1000, 1, 3 zeros. So even a student, even a primary school going child, he will be able to understand which number is the larger one. So that was the beauty of the Indian number system. And I must remind you one of the quotes of Al-Biruni. He came in India in 130 AD. And he told that I have roamed about many countries in Greek, in Rome, in Arab. All people there, they don't write beyond 4-digit numbers. Means 9,999 was the last number for them. But he is very much surprised, and he says, I am surprised that Indians are writing a very long numbers. Even in Rig Veda or Yajur Veda, you will find the number 10 raised to the power 17. And he said that this is useless. There is no need to write numbers beyond 4 digits. That is enough. So with the help of these Roman numbers, you were not able to divide, you were not able to multiply. It's not possible to divide and multiply. But this Indian system, which is based upon zero system, you can do anything. So the very basis of mathematics was in India. And you will be surprised to know that till 1582, Europeans, they didn't have the knowledge of zero. It was Pope Gregory, when he reformed the Julian calendar in 1582, he introduced zero. And the example, the evidence, glaring evidence of is that before 1 AD, they used to write 1 BC. Had they had the knowledge of zero, they would not have written 1 AD and 1 BC, so they must have inserted zero. It was Pope Gregory, he introduced zero system also. So this was the beauty of the Indian mathematics and Indian knowledge system. Then we have a paper by Kushalji. He is trying to use this AI system in predicting astrology and predicting human, events. And he says that 100% accuracy, 100% predictions can be done with the help of this AI system. And I am happy to tell that his mother is also helping him in this regard. And the last speaker, as you know, Dr. Ulrich Berg. In fact, he is following the Akkalkot system of Agnihotra in Maharashtra. There is a Vishwa Foundation, and they introduced this Agnihotra system, and they perform this Agnihotra during sunrise and sunset. And it is said, if the Agnihotra, this Agnihotra with cow dung, little bit of cow ghee and few grains of rice in that copper Yajna Kund, if it is performed during sunrise exactly and sunset, then it has more effect than performed other timings. And it can kill pathogenic bacteria, pollution of air can be reduced by it. So this is the third most popular technology Indians gave to the world. First one, Ayurveda, yoga, and this yajna is also very much obvious. It never came from any quarter of the world. So I think all these papers, very beautiful paper and remarkable, they enlightened us, and I thank all the speakers for their beautiful presentation. And I also thank SRIVT for organizing such a beautiful conference and seminar. Thanks.
Thank you, sir, for your concluding remarks. I would now like to invite Dr. ABS Sastry Garu, Founder Chairman SRIVT, to fell state, sir. I request my team to help sir with the fell station. Thank you, sir. We'll take a short break for tea or coffee for 15 minutes, and we'll get back to this next session in Marvel. Session 3 is in Marvel and session 4 is in Oasis 7th floor. And after the session 3 here, that is after 6, there is an AMA session, Ask Me Anything. Any question can be asked from the audience to any speaker. Thank you. We'll assemble back in this hall in 15 minutes. Please enjoy your hot cup of tea.